New Mexico is a pretty large state, roughly the same size as Arizona with only a fraction of available public land. It feels like I've explored every region of this state, seen all the geology it has to offer, but then I come out to a new place like Cibola and realize it would take a lifetime to experience this place in full. Welcome to the Cibola Backcountry Route. As always, my name's Cody, and you're watching another episode of the White Dog Overland Experience. It was a Monday afternoon. The work week was just starting, but an insatiable itch was creeping up in my mind. Not the type of itch you'd expect from a slimeball like myself, an itch to pack the truck, drive to another state, and see where the road takes us. There was only one dude I knew who would drop his whole week's schedule to explore new areas, so I hit up Kyle and we got on the road that same night, bound for New Mexico with no real route in mind. We had decided on Albuquerque as our starting point. From camp Monday night, we would brainstorm a route around the area, and from there we would see where the trails would take us. The location we would start on dirt is an area that borders the Zia Reservation 25 miles north of Rio Rancho, where the road would jump in and out of BLM and wilderness study areas at the foothills of the Colorado Plateau. Howdy YouTube, and welcome back to another one. And welcome back to the land of the enchantment. I guess this is my 10th trip here in New Mexico. I think it's my 6th or 7th video out here. This week we're kind of in the central northwestern portion of the state, kind of roaming around these weird plateau regions. Pretty close right now to the little town settlement of Cabezón. This is Cabezón Peak behind me at the moment. In the next couple days we're going to get into some higher elevation. It's about 80 degrees right now. We're sitting around 6,000 feet. It's not too bad, but honestly, over all the times I've been in New Mexico, it's not impressive, and any of you watching shouldn't come. So what I'm going to do over the next few days is document just how ugly this state is. Every reason why you shouldn't come, and pretty much the whole state is basically Albuquerque. And everything you've heard about it is true. So I'm going to show you guys just how terrible this state is. I mean, the driving sucks. It's all flat. The rocks are ugly. No one cares about the rocks anyways, so I guess you'll just have to watch and find out why you don't want to come to New Mexico. You gonna make it through that there? Maybe.
Painfully, but yes.
Yeah, this is
Okay, and then it looks like there's
a path down here too. Roll up the windows. Hopefully I don't take my snorkel off, because this is really tight. Oh yeah. Well, I didn't take my snorkel off. Folded every single mirror in. That's you're on a full size out here. Better stop caring about your paint, because that's not gonna be a good thing. Come on. Guess this would be a proper time to introduce you to the new addition. Oh, and he fell. Come here. Ah, this is Winslow. He's a 12-week, 13-week-old Karakachan Akbash mix. He's like Mila. He's just from a different region of Europe. I got him a few weeks ago, so this is kind of his trial break-in period. So he's doing pretty good so far. He's got the squirts and he's thrown up a few times in the back seat, but other than that, I didn't expect much different. He's doing pretty good. He just follows Mila around. See what we're working with out here. Beer's cracked, so it's time to look at the view. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's just big geological nipples all over the place. When you come this far, you have to pay homage to the geological nipples. Pour a little out. Big ranch. Yeah, it is. As always, I came heavily underprepared, so for dinner tonight, having main course is Vienna sausage, this side of hard-boiled eggs and pistachios, string cheese, and a beer. I did bring some sandwich fixins, but I'm feeling ultra lazy right now. I don't know if we'll do that or we'll just snack all night, but I do also have cheeseburgers, but I really doubt that I will be cooking this trip. So last night's camp spot was a bit underwhelming. I mean, we had a good view if you walked out. I really like parking and getting a vista, but not every camp is the same. And I may not link this camp spot. I may not put the coordinates in Patreon. So if you don't see it, it's just because this road is, I mean, it's, I don't really know where we're going. I'm sort of just following a map. Speaking of, I need to check the map. So if you don't see it, I'm sorry, but there will be cooler camp spots tonight. Should be pretty sweet. Speaking of Patreon, those of you who are still around, I appreciate you a lot. I know a lot of content creators say Patreon is additional support, and it most certainly is. It helps us, you know, pays the bills in our downtime. YouTube doesn't pay a lot, and that's okay. I honestly am not here to make a ton of money on YouTube. I'm just here to make you guys content. And honestly, I get hate a lot of time because I make real kind of content, not just this consumer garbage that a lot of content creators make. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm interested in making content for myself that I enjoy watching, and if you guys enjoy watching too, that's just a big bonus. And I think honestly, even if 1% of this off-road overland community likes this kind of content, then it's a pretty big audience base. So I do appreciate the additional support. It does help out a lot. I know I'm not posting as much as I used to. You guys still hanging around, that means a big deal to me. And for those who have been asking for a long time, Johnny's gonna kick my ass for talking about this too soon, but we do have merch coming. Big shout out to Johnny. He's got the ball rolling. Morris too. Thank you, dude, on the new logo. It is awesome. I don't know when the merch is rolling out. Johnny is in the works of getting it all created. We're gonna do some limited drops, that sort of thing. So stay tuned for that. We're both real excited for that to come out. Probably in the next month or two, it'll be ready. So keep an eye out. And for now, if you see Johnny, give him a big thank you. I appreciate him a lot. Been steady climbing in elevation for a while now. If you can see the white bark out ahead of me, there is some aspens, so we're definitely around 9,000 feet now, up from like 78.8. So this road takes us, I found a little spur trail that loops around the backside, goes up to about 10,500 feet, and then climbs even more up to Mount Taylor. So this is a third way to get to Mount Taylor. It's yellow on the map, so I don't know how doable it is. There's some water up here, that's nice. But we're gonna find out and just carry on. The name Cibola in this region has a 500-year history with European identity. and nearly another 5 centuries with the Zuni people. Cibola was referenced to the natives' word for their pueblos, and human occupation has been notably present in these mountains for 14,000 years. In the 16th century, Spaniards were driven here with the ambitions to find a mystical place called the Seven Cities of Cibola. The concept of cities full of riches in this portion of unexplored land was likely began by the survivors from a previous Portuguese expedition, which sparked the interest of a man named Francisco Vázquez de Coronado. And yes, that is the same Coronado who named the Sky Island National Forest of southern Arizona. By 1540, the expedition had reached the pueblos, and there were in fact no treasures to be found. They would continue north into the Great Plains, while others would stay behind, developing relationships with the Zuni people, and would later discover the pueblo's rich copper and turquoise deposits throughout the natives' land. Over 100 years after reaching these new lands, as Spanish colonials do best, they pushed the Zuni peoples into full revolt. During the century of Spanish occupations, tensions would increase between the natives and Spaniards as the colonizers would attack the pueblos in desperation for their food stores, push Catholicism onto the tribes, and suppress their native religions. The catalyst leading up to the Pueblo Revolt of 1680 was the killing of Francisco Letardo, a Spanish Catholic priest. The Pueblo Revolt would lead to hundreds of casualties on the Spanish side, forcing them out of the pueblos until they re-established dominance there again in 1691. The Zuni would continue to fight for their ways of life for another 200 years, when finally the US government would take control of the region with the Gadsden Purchase of 1848. Every time I stare at a map of the Four Corners, I almost feel a bit of disdain for the amount of land controlled by the tribes. Thousands of acres cut off from public use. But then I remember, at one point, this was all their land, sacred in the same way us Americans treat everything we own. Although I believe colonial conquest brought advances into these populations of people, it brought along great bloodshed and tribulations to people who lived here for thousands of years before us. So when I feel a bit of envy while staring at a map of land I'll never be able to explore, what we have now is a blessing that we shouldn't forget. Another prime reason not to come to New Mexico. The views are honestly pretty terrible. Alright, if anyone makes it up here, there's two, the original White Dog logo stickers over yonder. Let's see if I can get this back off in a timely manner. Johnny and Curtis, this one's for you boys. Very nice. Come get some stickers. What do you think, boy? Come here. So this little fork trail, definitely not the same view as the one we were at up top. But I mean, if you were trying to get out of the wind, kind of enclosed in a nice circle of trees here, you can't see it on camera, but this is a great spot. I mean, I love how big these ponderosas are. These ones have some age. There's some lichen growing off it. They're thick. This is the kind of ponderosa forest I just love seeing. I was just talking to Kyle about it. I mean, there's nowhere in Arizona, you can get up to 11,000 feet in the summertime, let alone get up to 10,000 feet and not see people. We haven't seen anybody. We've seen some Continental Divide hikers. There was one rancher out with a ranger, and that was it. I mean, it is desolate out here. There is nobody, and that's great, honestly. You're trying to escape the heat, get away from people. This is the place I guess this is not the place to come. Don't come here. Don't experience this for yourself. Keep this a secret, because this is a good mountain range. So now at this point in the afternoon, it's about 2 o'clock. We're gonna take about maybe an hour getting off this mountain. We're gonna head down and split off to the west. There's a plateau region above Grants. Looks pretty nice. We're gonna chase some of these roads down and see if we can get out on a lookout on one of these plateaus, and should have a good visual of Grants. And from there, camp, and then just see where tomorrow takes us. There's really no plan in mind, which is kind of nice. I mean, we stumbled on this with no plan in mind, so I'm sure we'll find something else pretty cool. See if we can get up right on the edge here. It's possible. Oh yeah, let's see. All we need is a spot to set up chairs and beer drink, and we got it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a cool view too.
I know. Come on. Come on, dude. Come here. There's some awfully tempting boulders.
Yeah, very tempting. Storm facing, place they can go get away or whatever. And they have a thrift store, so they manage all that. All right, food time, Ed.
Food time it is.
Got a XL 350 built. 3 feet up, but still. Yeah, up north or east on that mountain. Man, oh, it's freezing right now.
Good morning, YouTube. It's about 8 o'clock right now. Kind of getting a late start to the day. Been up since 6, got up with the sunrise, but my dog once again pooped all over my truck. Everywhere, literally everywhere. The night before he pooped on my driver's side seat cover, which wasn't a bad cleanup, but I've been cleaning this mess for like probably an hour and a half now. He pooped in just about every crack and crevice in my vehicle. I've been digging out little Winslow shit turds out of just about everything. Cup holders between my seats. It was an awful mess. One of the worst things I experienced before camping, other than Mila getting sprayed by a skunk, that was one of the worst. So we're moving really slow, but we're not too far from Grants where we're at now, probably less than an hour. And then you can see this mountain range behind me. Those are the Zuni mountains. We're gonna head up in there today and go check those out. Continue our path down south.
Helps you kind of locate what you're looking at.
Looks like once you get through there, there's kind of a big valley.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, I think that big mesa plateau out there, we'll work around that and then go back south, I think.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Our time spent in the San Mateo Mountains was over, and by the time we would reach Grants, over 130 miles had been covered on dirt. This was an exceptional mountain range, and certainly a place I would return to check out all the side trails and dead-end roads, but that's a story for another time. Today we would be covering another 120 miles on dirt. It was decided we would see how much ground we could cover through the Zuni Mountains, and if time permitted, we would push south into the volcanic region of El Malpais. So we finally made it up to the top here. This is Mount Sedgwick. We were, you can see Mount Taylor way out there. We were staring at this last night, but this is a pretty stellar 360 view. Fire was obvious, or this forest was obviously burned at one point, but life is coming back. You could especially see when we were lower, all the aspens coming up. This is another good one. So this road coming up here, kind of a shelf road. It was actually nice to get into something where we necessarily needed 4-low. So that was cool. It's entire, I think we've done probably close to 140 miles on dirt so far. Haven't needed 4-wheel drive once. These roads have been really mellow, but sometimes, I mean, you're really not overlanding unless you're driving graded forest roads. So we got our overlanding in. Got a little bit of, you know, just some good old off-roading with this trail. But this mountain we're parked on right now, I can see where we were camped out last night. We were staring at this peak because it sticks up obviously a lot more than anything out here in the Zuni Mountains, and just decided, hey, tomorrow let's go check that out. And that's kind of how this whole trip has been. I mean, we knew we wanted to start up north of Albuquerque, so we started there. picked a road. We saw Mount Taylor coming in, so we were like, dang, I wonder how that looks. So we drove up north, kind of putted around, and just took roads as we went, and eventually we ended up there, saw this spot, and now we're here, and I think we're just going to do that for the rest of the day, see where it takes us. So sometimes trips like this are pretty nice. Well, we're coming off the mountain now. Honestly, this mountain range is really nice, but it's a little bit underwhelming. It's hard to keep up with what we did yesterday. Those views were killer. Up here at 9,300 feet, it's pretty nice, but there's just too much time left in the day to sit here in this forest. We probably got another 20 miles to get out of here, but forest roads are very chill and mellow, so we're gonna probably burn through that quick, go south, and I'm thinking we're gonna go to Malpais. I think it's a national park. We're gonna go check that out. We're here, we might as well see it. I don't expect a lot from that kind of volcanic-y region, but as far as filming the rest of Zuni here in the Zuni mountains, I'm probably just gonna pick this back up when we hit Malpais, because a lot of this forest just gets so redundant. It's definitely gorgeous, but some of this rolling ponderosa, it's like you guys get the point. You guys get the gist of this area. So I'll probably see you at Malpais. That's how you pronounce it. I'm sure you comment warriors will tell me exactly how to pronounce it. Shout out to you guys. Put it in the comments if I screwed that one up. Alright, so we're up at this Big Tubes area. I don't know really what there is to see out here in Malpais, but we're gonna walk up this little trail here and kind of see what these Big Tubes are all about, and then head out into the BLM portion and get out of this national monument. So I was reading back on the information board back there. People are still finding unexploded ordnance out here. I guess in 1943 they were blowing shit up. Damn, it's windy. I hope the audio is not really bad. Sorry about that. But this was a military proving ground, and after a year went by, they determined that this area was too rugged to be developing new targets out here. So I understand that it is pretty rugged. This lava flow makes things interesting, but there's a bunch of ice caves up here. Apparently to enter the cave you have to decontaminate yourself, and then I guess coming back out of the cave you have to decontaminate yourself again, because there's some bacteria in the back guano, or I don't know, something like that. So we're just gonna observe from the outside, but it's pretty neat. Couple of pretty massive caverns. This rock is so loose. Oh wow. That's pretty neat. So the Big Tubes are pretty neat. There's a bigger loop you can do around there, but we're just felt kind of bad for the dogs on their feet. Not so much Mila, but little guy, he's getting used to this. So this was worth the stop, I would say, no doubt. We're gonna head south on this road a little bit. This road keeps going, but we're gonna fork off through a little spur trail, see where that takes us, and try to get out to the chain of craters roads and hit some back roads around there and kind of see what we get into. So we're gonna head out of here. It's pushing 4 o'clock, so we're gonna get camped soon and hang out. Other than the Big Tube portions of Malpais, there's not really much else to see out here. I was anticipating the chain of craters to look more like a volcanic wasteland, but to my disappointment, they were more just pinyon-covered knobs. I honestly wouldn't recommend coming to this area. Rolling flat pinyon forests are not the most entertaining sections to drive through, and this portion of our trek was roughly 65 miles. So we decided to blow through here and find camp in the Cibola National Forest to the south. With that being said, it's hard to determine where you'll end up on these last-minute, no-plan type of trips. In one sense, you may end up in an area that's rather forgettable, but taking the chance on it is half the fun. In the end, it's just another place to check off the list, and in my type of exploring, that's exactly what I'm after. Find a road, see what's down it, you never know what treasures you may find.